raining out in Ohio, fake tornadoes and shit going on. Hey, what's up? Weather a little fucked up in Ohio, raining, wind blowing, knocking shit over. You know what I mean? I'm from Florida, I'm used to this shit. It be hurricane season from damn near February to fucking October type shit in Florida, so. But y'all see the description. Why are people leaving California? Well, I got an idea of why. For one, the fucking rent is out of hand. Ain't nobody got time to be worried about wearing the wrong or right hats, which is that gang shit. Flocking, not saying flocking ain't everywhere, but Cali come with a lot versus Florida. You know what I mean? But ain't nobody got time to be worried about I can't go in this area because of this reason, even though everywhere is dangerous nowadays, you know what I mean? But California people don't even want to be in California. You know what I mean? So I remember many years ago, 20 years ago, I'll say, hell, Cali was like a dream for a lot of people, like as far as to move there, you know what I mean? Everett West, what it do, family? It was a dream, you know what I mean, for people to move to Cali. You know what I mean? If you want to be a singer, producer, what it do, my people. If you wanted to be, oh, I'm good, dog. This weather in Ohio fucked up, fake tornado, rain and wind blowing, cold as hell at the same time. So, you know the vibe, chilling in. What's up, family? What it do? At Jonah Hennon, what's up, family? Everett West, Thomas, what it do? But people, California was once the place, and because especially the movies, they always made Cali, you know what I mean, so extravagant. You know what I mean? Seeing the trees, the lifestyle, even the Hollywood sign. You know what I mean? Like once you there and you see that, you be like, damn, I made it. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of shit that comes with the Cali lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like I say, like the rent is out of hand. You know what I mean? The cost of living is crazy. And then, like I said, the politics of that shit. And then, they be having fires and mini earthquakes. There's all type of shit that comes with it. That West Coast lifestyle, you know what I mean? Many years ago, Cali was like very just popular, you know what I mean? As far as just to go there for the bud, you know what I mean? People want to go there to sightsee. Like it was like fairy tale-ish, you know what I mean? Hell, you even heard Bone Thugs and Harmony say they got one-way bus tickets and went to Cali, you know what I mean? To look for Eazy-E, you know what I mean? At some point, got in touch with Eazy-E, got a deal, woo. So, Cali was always a place known as your dreams can come true, you know what I mean? But within the, as time went on, you know what I mean? Cali people rob Cali people, you know what I mean? That shit ain't just in the movies like Menace to Society and all different West Coast movies or whatever that show, people getting robbed and all type of shit, flocking houses and all of that. And then You know what I mean? Like they system, they set up. You know what I mean? The three strike shit. You know what I mean? When Camila was there before she did the president thing. You know what I mean? It was just the politics and then just the lifestyle. You know what I mean? That a lot of people just don't want to be a part of. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody got time to say they don't want to go to Ass Avenue because you got on a fucking Pirates baseball hat or some shit. You know what I mean? Or Cincinnati Reds hat. Or, you know what I mean? Joe's, hi bro, how is you? A day going, hey, I'm going cool. A little rainy, fake tornado vibe and shit like that, but storming out cold as fuck. But other than that, you know, I'm good, dog. Appreciate you asking. Like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Like this video and share it. But California residents don't even want to be in Cali no more. You know what I mean? Like, Cali was damn near one of the places that, like, if you wanted to visit, it was like top 5. You know what I mean? And not saying it's not a place you don't want to visit. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to spread your wings, you know what I mean, sightseeing shit like that or whatever, you know what I mean, I'd rather go there than go like overseas or something, because right now this ain't the time to be really going to overseas and shit. But I think a lot of people just fed up, man. You know, rent high, you know what I mean, shit is out of hand. We're already dealing with gas prices, then just life in reality, and then the dangers of the shit. Now everywhere dangerous as fuck, but some people feeling like they'll take their chance in Florida. You know what I mean? Mona 1025, what's up, family? Y'all hit that like button while y'all in here. But Cali, the hope that people had for Cali was the bud. Now everybody everywhere got somewhat good bud. You know what I mean? Florida wasn't even known to be a loud, you know what I mean, a bud state, but they even got the smoke. Everywhere got the smoke now. It ain't just Cali. You know what I mean? Cali was like labeled top tier as far as on the bud side. Like, you know, you have somebody, hey nigga, you need to go to Cali. You know what I mean? Whoop de whoop, whoop de whoop, whoop, whoop. But now everywhere you can find good bud everywhere now. You know what I mean? So the hype of the bud wear off. Then people don't really care for six folds and shit like that, and the lifestyle and all like that. And then one thing I can say about Cali, I'll say like 40 years ago, I'll say like 40 years ago, right? You used to can tell who was a gangbanger or not versus now. Now, shit, niggas, you know, niggas got regular shit on, flies a motherfucker, you know what I mean? Head to toe, LV down type shit, you know what I mean? And you really can't tell until some shit hit the fan, and then a nigga might throw his set up, or, you know what I mean, or be down the ride with the gang. But see, 40 years ago, you could tell them niggas were flannels, Chucks, Dickies. Not saying they don't wear none of that now, because they still do, you know what I mean? You still see, you know, the younger generation trying to act like they started some shit, when in reality, the older generation is the reason why out of towners, a lot of people fear going to the West Coast. A lot of people think that the new age gangsters is the reason why, which I'm saying from 2000 on up, not saying niggas is not gangsters, but the reason a lot of the West Coast got their name is because of from 96 on back, basically, for real. When shit was really at its height, for real, as far as the blood, Crip, the essays, all that shit that was going on you know, in Cali or whatever. So a lot of people don't really feel LA for what it is. It's what you know about LA as far as how them niggas, the OGs and all them, T. Rogers and from Big U era and Monster Cody's and all them niggas from back then, and the list goes on. You know what I mean? Who made LA, and a lot of the OGs who passed away made LA what it is. Names that we don't even know about. And the older gang generation is the reason why certain civilians fear LA, and then along with the movies and politics shit that comes with it. But you know, ain't nobody got time. And then I think they used to have the insurance where if a fire happened, you know what I mean, like you can be covered by insurance and shit like that. But a lot of shit stopped in LA. You know what I mean? As far as where people feel like it's just not worth it. That's why people sold their house, moved to a whole nother state. You know what I mean? And now look, they living their best life or whatever. You know what I mean? But to me, I feel like California, you know what I mean? It's cool to a certain degree, but like that ain't like no dream place like where I could see myself retiring and living and want to finish my life out at. Like you got Californians who don't even want to be there, you know what I mean? And like I say, who got time for what goes on there? All that politics shit, man. Ain't nobody on that, man. Nobody in a way it's kind of sad because a lot of they gang banging and shit out there is all generational shit. Like niggas granddaddies and they daddies was 60s and Hoovers and 8 Trays and Inglewoods and from treetops and you know what I mean? The list goes on all over. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta keep naming them and shit. But so it's really embedded in a lot of them dudes, you know what I mean? So a lot of them be feeling like shit, nigga, my father's still here. North Carolina is a good place to retire. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I hear a lot about North Carolina too. It just I don't really know a lot about North Carolina, you know what I mean? But I heard anytime I hear people talk about the Carolinas, they say that's a good place as far as the chill and shit like that or whatever, you know. But um nowadays everybody moving everywhere else but fucking Cali. You know what I mean? Like I say, if you move into LA, you chasing a dream. You know what I mean? You want to be an actor, you want to be in the music industry. Um, you know what I mean? It's definitely a reason behind it. You know what I mean? And like I say, people choosing to move to other states like the Carolinas, like Eddie 1027 said. Uh, because it ain't got time for the politics shit. You know what I mean? Like I say, everywhere dangerous. It don't matter where you at. Gas stations pumping gas everywhere. You just got to be on your square on. You know what I mean? You stay alert. You know what I mean? Don't be lacking. Don't be loafing or whatever. But um, California is still good to go for business. You know what I mean? They still do the wars and all that shit or whatever over there, whatever and all that over there. But me personally, it's good to visit. It's just that's about as far as it go right there. Like if you one of them dudes who got a marathon burger fetish, now they just put one on Venice Beach or some shit like that or whatever. You know what I mean? You want to go there, you know what I mean? And it's cool to go places and try things or whatever. But I was watching a poll on Fox about why a lot of people is fleeing California, and they had the reasons. You know what I mean? Like rent, cost of living is outrageous. You know what I mean? For a 1 bedroom, motherfucker talking about 25, 100. You know what I mean? Like how New York is. Like, you know what I mean? Like certain places is just out of hand. Like, like we hear stories about people in the South who work at McDonald's saying, "Oh, I make 14, I make 15," and then you hear about ones on West Coast, they're talking about they make 17. They're just like jobs, fast foods in New York. You know what I mean? They make a lot more because the cost of living is outrageous. You know what I mean? So the fluctuation prices, you know what I mean, just high everywhere for real, for real. But it's like if you can help yourself and you live on the West Coast by moving off the coast and going somewhere else, and you ain't got to worry about a lot of property tax, all like that. And just like I say, the shit is out of hand with the cost of living. Then, you know what I mean? People bucking, bro. That's getting bad all over. Right. It really is. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I don't mean to come off what I'm finna say like negative, but to me, the more and more the world go on year by year, shit don't get better. It get worse. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is just out of hand. You know what I mean? Like, everywhere you go is definitely so unpredictable now. You know what I mean? I don't care if you at the Atlas Theater. You know what I mean? Like, if you live somewhere right now and it's not that bad and you can deal with it, you might as well just stay where you at because now they want so much for you to get in somewhere. They want 3 times you got to make 3 times more to rent. They want you to pay last month. What the fuck do I got to do with a last month and first month? I would I ain't live here. What am I paying for somebody who skipped out on y'all? Like that shit be crazy. Like the stuff that these landlords want from you now, they damn near want a birthmark from you. You know what I mean? Like they make this shit so hard for you to live now. Like I remember they used to make it hard for people who was fellas. Now just normal people with no record, damn near got it worse than people with a record. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, it just people just fed up with certain shit, man. Like I say, everywhere all over the world, gas high here, gas high there. You know what I mean? But you know, everybody we just got to step out, hustle up. You know what I mean? Like it was once a time where you could literally be content with a job. Now you damn near got to have a job and sell weed or some shit. I don't know, hair or some shit. You better be selling rib sandwiches or something on the side because you just working at that one job ain't gonna cut it. You got to have some type of hustle, whether it's iPhone hustling, some type of money getting situation along with a job now, just to really have extras and shit like that. And we all really just gotta cut down. My dog Eddie 1027, yup, it's gonna come to a head eventually and people are gonna fight back. Most definitely, because for one, like, I don't want to get too off the subject and I don't want to say some shit that offend people, you know what I mean? Even though we're living in a sensitive ass time now where people just get offended by the most softest shit that a person say, but like, if you're an American, and not saying that you got to be born American, because we know people from other countries are American citizens, so we're not talking about them, but like if you're an American, you shouldn't even be paying taxes like that for real. Like the shit's sad and damn to make you feel like America don't look out for America type shit. You know what I mean? Because you'll have other people from other countries who don't got to pay taxes right away. Like they get benefits, they get loans, all type of shit. You know what I mean? But if you American, you damn near got to show your damn ass just to get a fucking loan and really get some type of help. Like they make you go through a lot of hula hoops and obstacles, you know what I mean? And make it hard for you to do a lot of shit. And they make you damn near feel like, do America even love America? America don't even love America. You know what I mean? So, like, they just need to do better. Like, they got their priorities fucked up and backwards, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't never think it was cool to tax people who is American, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just weird, you know what I mean? Like, and we ain't talking from a racial point. We talk about, like, even if you Hispanic or you from Ukraine or wherever you from, if you're an American citizen, you took your test or however it is, you know what I mean? We talking about them people, like, you know what I mean? If you labeled an American citizen, you shouldn't really be taking taxes like that. I talk this stuff all the time right there with you. Right. You know what I mean? Like, they really got a lot of people sleeping in cars and shit and RV camps and tents and all of that shit. You got people really making decisions like, I'd rather just pay my car note, live out my car, every now and then get a room. You got people converting caravans into cribs and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a lot going on. You know what I mean? Then nowadays you can order a whole crib alone off fucking Amazon. You know what I mean? Like they got them on there for $3,500. Motherfuckers is getting a piece of land and ordering them cribs off Amazon and doing what they got to do to make it for them and their family to make it. You know what I mean? And it's sad, some of the situations, because everybody not a hustler. And what I mean a hustler, meaning like some people are just content with just working a job. They don't want to think of other options to bring in income. That's why I respect the people who do Uber Eats and Uber and all that shit, who understand that, man, you know, you got to have extras. You know what I mean? This ain't 1956 when dad can go to work and then the mom stay at home and just be a housewife type shit. You know what I mean? Now, you do got a lot of chicks and, you know, who at the crib making money from the crib, whether they got a disability or they selling twat or they on OnlyFans or they just work from the crib, you know what I mean? Or they on a pregnant leave where, you know, even though they on pregnant leave, they still working from the crib. Some dudes might have got hurt on their job, you know what I mean? And collecting a little paper, you know what I mean? Unemployment, it's all type of shit. But like I say, California, we used to see it on 9102, all these different shows and shit, and it'd make you be like, damn, one day I gotta go there. And then 30 years or 40 years ago, you damn near had to go there to get noticed, you know what I mean? Whether you're a comedian or whatever, you know what I mean? As far as if you want to be on TV and shit like that. But like I say, now, we all got our own cameras, you know what I mean? People got their own channels, their own networks, you know what I mean? People on the independent ground, you know what I mean? So, you know, TikToks, all these different apps, you know what I mean? Facebook, Instagram, Triller, you know what I mean? So, you know, you don't really got to go to Cali all like that, you know what I mean? Not saying people don't, because it's still business over there that's got to be conducted, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, cost of living is outrageous. Y'all don't even got fire protection like that, you know what I mean? Then some of the laws that change, you know what I mean? As far as the politics of y'all laws and shit like that. Then, like I said, who want to get caught up in the gang shit? That's like really one of the top 3 problems that's over there, you know what I mean? Don't nobody want to be worried about you going to a damn dispensary just because you got on a Boston Red Sox hat or a fucking New York Yankee hat. Somebody, hey, where you from? Because where you from on the West Coast is like saying, hey, how you doing? You hear that shit all day, every day. Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? You know what I mean? And when your ass grown and you pass certain shit, you ain't finna let no little ass nigga or nobody question you about where I'm from. You know, I'm not from here, nigga. How about that? And basically, you know what I mean? Nigga, don't ask me. Like, you know what I mean? Damn, they want to get on your ass, because I don't know why y'all feel y'all the only tough niggas that's in the world. There's tough niggas everywhere. You know what I mean? So, Cali, ain't nobody got time for no 3-strike shit. You know what I mean? The like I said, the cost of living. And then, I don't know if it's me, but like, Cali don't, even when they show like the hood vlogs and certain shit like that, whether it's Watts, Compton, fucking, all different sides, bro. That shit don't look nothing like extravagant to want to go to. It's damn near give me a Miami feel. Like people, a lot of people don't know, it's a South Beach in Miami. Okay, bro, it's not exactly the same, bro. Like, once you go across the bridge, bro, and you go to Miami, and shit like that, you get to ride through that bitch and all through the neighborhoods and everything, man, you damn near feel like it wasn't even really worth living there for real. Because a lot of people judge Miami off South Beach and shit like that. Let your ass really move down there. You ain't gonna really last long. I feel like you got to be different to want to move to Miami, you know what I mean? Because it's just like Cali, a lot of people who in Miami don't even want to be there. That's why they go to Tallahassee, they go to northern Florida, or they go to Orlando or some shit, Tampa, or you know what I mean, or whatever the fuck, because you know what I mean, it's kind of similar to LA. Like, once you cross that bridge and you get to ride through them hoods and all that shit like that, and you be like, I don't know, this shit ain't it right here. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to be a part of the industry, you want to be in the spotlight, or you want to get your name known, you got some paper, you can blow some bags here and there, G5, you want to go to these different places to put your name and your company out there, then okay, that's cool. But Cali and Miami is kind of similar. The only difference is you ain't really got the gang shit. You got cliques and hoods and size of towns and shit like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Not saying that if you go somewhere new and they ain't never seen your face, they ain't gonna ask you where you from. But in Cali, where you from, that's like a every fucking minute thing right there. You get out the gas station, you just going to go pay for gas. You know what I mean? Somebody, you walking in, where you from? Because they could tell a out of towner who from there and who not from there. So they're gonna ask you where you from. You know what I mean? So Cali, nobody want to deal with the politics. I'm not down in LA. LA is a great place to vacation and all that shit or whatever, you know what I mean? But you got all these weird ass people who represent LA and not even make you want to fuck with them. You got Whack 100, Adam 22, all them weird ass niggas. and all that. Only podcast I probably fuck with is Back on Fig and Jackson. What to do, family? Hit that like button while you're here. But other than that, LA, bro, don't draw nobody interest. Don't nobody want to go to the swap meet. Don't nobody. People go to Vegas. You know what I mean? But other than that, then if they do go, they going to see the Nipsey shit. You know what I mean? Because we all got love for Nip or whatever. But yeah, man, LA. You know what I mean? People clearing out. People look like, fuck that, man. I'm finna go somewhere like Ohio or some shit like that. New beginnings. You know what I mean? A lot of people leave the West and go south for real. You know what I mean? So, Cali, it's cool to visit. You know what I mean? But will I ever live there? Nah. You know what I mean? Like I say, I go out there, you know, stop through support Nip shit, the Marathon Burger shit, Black Sam, or whatever and all that. But Cali is Cali, dog. You know what I mean? I have no interest on ever moving there whatsoever. So, like I say, if you ain't never been and you know what I mean, you want to go, hey, go. You know what I mean? Just be careful about what hats you wear and even your shirts. You know what I mean? Certain shit on the shirt. You know what I mean? Just be careful and understand what comes with when you go there. You know what I mean? Somebody, I don't give a fuck if you got out of a cab. Somebody gonna ask you where you from, bro. You feel me? And then the way you open your mouth, they can tell. Cali people can tell Cali people. You know what I mean? So, like I say, hey, visit. You know what I mean? But a lot of people go to Vegas now, San Diego. You know what I mean? Those are good places and shit like that. Or whatever, hell, even Oakland and shit like that. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. Fox News did a poll and you know what I mean? People just fleeing Cali, man. You know what I mean? They ain't got time for no 3-strike shit. I still a Twix bar, bitch. I'm gonna get life. I sell my 3rd transaction on a weed deal, bitch, for a 20 sack. I'm gonna get life type shit. Like, and then they say if you own your 3rd strike, I seen the interview with Jap 5. If y'all ain't hit the Jap 5, he from Cali, he'll Hoover. Tap in with him. But he keep it real too. And you know, even certain Cali dudes is tired of what going on in Cali. Like, you know what I mean? Like that gang banging shit like that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I know that shit is historic down there and it's generational and shit. Like, but from out of town, man, you ain't got time for that shit. Somebody rolling up on you, throwing the shit up, talking about this and all that shit, man. Look, nigga, I'm from Griffin Block in fucking Atlanta somewhere, nigga. We don't give a fuck about what, you know, Watts. You know what I mean? I don't mean to sound crazy, but like, nigga, I ain't on that. Nigga, I'm just out here to have a good time. I got family, woo, 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 and that's about it. But, yeah, man, LA, you know what I mean? LA ain't the only state that's the population is different from, you feel me? You know what I mean? But the popularity of it, you know what I mean, has a rich history. You know what I mean? At one time, movies, filming, and all that shit you had to take your ass to LA. You had to do what Bone did, get one-way bus tickets on a Greyhound. Jamie did it. Jamie Foxx did it. A lot of people, like if you wanted to get out, especially in the South, like if you wanted to get out of the deep South and all that shit and be heard and shit like that, you had to go to Cali. That or New York. It was either one. New York or Cali, as far as if you really wanted notoriety and you wanted to be in the entertainment field as far as acting and all that shit, it was either New York or Cali. But now you really don't need either one. You know what I mean? It's all on you and the individual, your strive, your goals, and you know what I mean? And how you vision your future. You know what I mean? You could be anywhere now. Like my boy said, you could be in North Carolina, South Carolina. You could be in Montgomery, Alabama. And if it's, you just hit, and you own. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that West Coast lifestyle, it was cool, but people who from Cali, they want a new surroundings, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? A new way of thinking, you know what I mean? Try something new. I always went by the motto, chances make champions. You can't be scared. You can't be scared to take a chance, dog. Chances make champions. You'll even have some people tell you, jump out there. If it don't work out, come back to the crib. But do you really want to come back to the crib? So it's like, nah, stay down and fight it out. And eventually, you know what I mean? The rose will grow through the concrete. So Tribe Gang TV, Y'all share this video. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all showing me love on my last one with the talked about that Jay-Z interview. You know what I mean? Like I say, like, comment, subscribe, go to my YouTube post. I will start back. You know what I mean? I've been slacking a lot lately and shit like that. But like I said, if I'm slacking, there's some shit going on and I'm building on the low. So stay tuned. But y'all know how we do. Tribe Gang TV. You know what I mean? Salute. We out.